The Indiana Pacers are finally moving on from Buddy Hield, trading him to the Philadelphia 76ers for Marcus Morris, Furkan Korkmaz, and also 3 second-round picks as well. And in this video, I kind of want to break down, this deal for the Pacers side of things. I feel like Furkan Korkmaz and Buddy Hield and 3 second-round picks are actually a pretty good return for a guy like Buddy Hield. Now, obviously, the main factor of them going out and trading a great shooter in Buddy Hield is primarily because of what they have developing already on this team. Now, when you look at Furkan Korkmaz and Marcus Morris, these are two guys that can come off the bench and give you a little bit of shooting, as well as a spark plug defensively at times as well, especially with Marcus Morris. Now, Korkmaz is more of a guy who, is a good shooter, right? Over his career, shooting about 36% from 3. In 2022-2023, shot 39% from 3. So he has the ability to knock down some shots, has the ability to put the ball on the floor and make some, plays happen, with his ball handling skills. But also, I think the main thing we have to talk about with this deal is the fact that they now open up some spots on their team. Now, the number one thing I want to look at is Aaron Nesmith has been balling out this season. The man has deserved more playing time, and he's slowly going to start getting that now that Buddy Hield is gone. And then you look at Andrew Nembhard, a guy who, quite frankly, has been starting over Buddy Hield over the past couple of games, and I feel like that's something that we'll continue to see. But more importantly, my favorite one of all, Bennedict Mathurin, looks like he could be an absolute stud in the future. And that's something I love and something I'm really excited to see is, Bennedict Mathurin, how his playing time goes up from here. Now, in terms of Korkmaz and Marcus Morris, these are two guys, like I said, they don't want the ball too much. They can sit in the corner, they can play in a certain role, and they'll be fine. They don't need the ball in their hands. All right, here we go. This is a play I really want to show you guys. We're going to get a screen here by Joel Embiid. Furkan Korkmaz, we said he's a pretty decent ball handler. He's going to come off the screen, get to his, or pick and choose his spot on the floor, and he's going to take a nice little sidestep three, gets it to go over his trailing defender and Andrew Wiggins. In easy money, right? Furkan Korkmaz can hit threes. I think he is going to be, pretty productive over here if they do keep him. But like I said, they have such a deep depth right now with Halliburton and Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith. You bring in Pascal Siakam. You have Bennedict Mathurin. You have TJ McConnell, Ben Shepherd they like a lot. Obi Toppin. Like, this team is deep, right? So I think making a move like this only makes them a little bit more better in terms of their rotation. Right? So I do like this move. And then I also like the fact of Marcus Morris as well. Let's look at Marcus Morris. Now, before we jump into, what Marcus Morris can bring to this Pacers team, do me a big favor, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Join the family because we will be covering the Pacers for the rest of the year. I mean, guys, they are extremely fun to watch. One of the fastest teams in NBA history, and I think they just got even better with this trade. So make sure you guys join the family, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we go live for a game. Now, I showed this play for one reason, right? He didn't make a play defensively, but watch how, and we just talked about how the Pacers are one of the fastest teams in NBA history, right? But look at how he fills the lane, right? Instead of just cutting right to the basket, goes out to the three-point line, forcing McDaniels to pick up the drive here by Paul George. He's going to find the cutting defender or the cutting Marcus Morris for a wide open dunk. And this is what Marcus Morris can do at a high level, right? He plays smart basketball. But another thing I love about Marcus Morris is his tenacity, right? He is a very, liable defender. He will be there when you need him. He's very reliable, right? And here we go. He's also a good scorer in the post. He can hit mid-range shots. He can isolate. He can hit threes. He can do a lot of different things. And I think that is just one of the things he's going to bring here to the Indiana Pacers off the bench. Now, this season so far, the man has been playing about 17 minutes a night, averaging 6.7 points, along with 40% from 3. The man is shooting 40% from 3 this year. You talk about losing a guy in Buddy Hield. Marcus Morris is just as good as a shooter. Maybe doesn't take as many threes, obviously, but he can knock them down. And that is what I think is special about Marcus Morris and what he brings to the Pacers. So if you really ask me, a grade for this trade for Indiana, I'm going to give it an A, right? I think, one, the best thing it does is free up some playing time for Aaron Nesmith, for Ben Shepherd, and also, more importantly, Benedict Mathurin. But you also acquire two guys who can fit a role, right? They're not big ego. They don't need the ball in their hands, but they can have the ball in their hands. They can score in an ISO situation. They can rebound the ball. They are, or Marcus Morris, specifically, is a very good defender. He's an energy guy, a spark plug. He'll dive on the floor for loose balls. He'll get in someone's face and, talk his ish. You know what I mean? So I feel like Marcus Morris is probably my favorite pickup here for the Pacers. I mean, look at this shot, by the way. So we're getting a nice kick over there by Norman Powell. And then we have a closeout defender in Devin Booker with a shoe in his hand. Marcus Morris decides, I'm going to shoot right over you, and gets it to go off the glass. Maybe not the most, amazing shot in the world, but still, Marcus Morris is a good player, and I think they really got a guy here. And look at this shot. I mean, you are a couple feet behind that three-point line, gets it to go anyway. I love this trade for the Indiana Pacers. Now, obviously, they're ranking number 1 in the NBA in points per game, but number 28th in points allowed per game. So they're going to really have to improve their defense going forward if they want a shot at the NBA Finals. Buddy Hield, not the greatest defender in the world. Marcus Morris, Furkan Korkmaz are steps above defensively, and I feel like that's why this trade is so special. Not only do they, open up some more playing time for guys in the rotation, but they also bring in a couple of defenders as well as a couple of second-round picks for the future as well. I mean, I think this trade is really good. Give me a grade in the comment section down below. What would you give the Pacers, what grade would you give the Pacers for this trade? I'm going to give it an A. I really do think it's a good pickup. As for the Sixers, I'm not really sure. I mean, obviously, Joel Embiid going out for a while does hurt them a lot. I think Buddy Hield adds another threat to score the ball when Tyrese Maxey is having a bad day. So I do like it in terms of that. But think about it. Buddy Hield's on an expiring deal. If they're not able to re-sign him, which I think they will be able to, but if they don't, this is an A-plus move for the Indiana Pacers, where Buddy Hield probably wasn't returning to the Pacers no matter what. Right, so I think you got some value. I think you got some players you might be able to play, might be able to flip, right? Maybe you buy them out. Who knows what happens? But Indiana, at this point in time, they might not be a contender to win it all, but they're definitely a team that can go on a sneaky long playoff run. Comment down below your expectations of the Pacers rest of the season, and comment down below, do you think they should make another trade before the end of the deadline, which is a couple hours from now? And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the family. See you guys soon. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.